You are listening to Julia's Trucking Cafe News Hour. Hi everybody, welcome back to Julia's Trucking Cafe Trucking News Hour. I hope you're having a good week. Thank you so much for joining me here on the cafe. As always, I have lots of news to get to, so let's get right to it. A truck driver loses his life off of the Conowingo Dam, and this is in Maryland. Maryland police say a truck driver was killed early in the morning. This was the week of Thanksgiving. When the crash happened about 1:30 in the morning on Tuesday in Conowingo, Maryland. According to reports, the truck was traveling southbound on US 1, and when it crashed off the side of the dam onto the shore below. It's the police reports saying that it's just past Maryland 222. Earlier reports stated that the crash happened just on the south side of the dam, but it actually happened in Cecil County on the north side of the dam. I mean, you know, the driver was pronounced dead at the scene. Really, it doesn't, you know, what difference does it really make? Driver's dead, it's dead. As you could see here in the picture, there was heavy fog. It's unknown why he, apparently it suggests that he failed to make a turn and that he crashed over the side of the dam. And our next story, someone pays $12 million for a custom semi-truck. One of the most eye-catching custom trucks in the world sold for millions at an overseas auction. The name of the truck is Thor 24. It's a highly customized 1984 Peterbilt 359. It was sold for a whopping $12 million to an unnamed buyer at Worldwide Auctioneers in Saudi Arabia. The auction was part of a 5-day automotive show featuring historic rare and custom vehicles from around the world. The specifications of Thor 24 are as follows: 2 V2471 Detroit diesel motors, an original one-of-a-kind 1979 Peterbilt 359 crew cab, a 1933 custom-built Ford grill, a 12 by 871 superchargers, it turns 38,974 horsepower, a maximum speed of 130 miles an hour. I'll talk right yet, I promise. 4 drag chutes. It took 7 years for this driver to make it. Mike Hara built this, and $7 million. So he got $5 million out of the deal. It's completely chrome-plated, polished aluminum, and a stainless steel carriage. He's got a Hawker Jet APU, auxiliary power unit. It's 44 feet long, 32,000 pounds, got a 1,500 watt stereo system in it, and 7 movie screens, including a 40-inch movie screen, you know, LED flat screen. My wonderment is, how can you watch 7 screens at one time? You know, I can understand watching football, college ball, or if you have the same movie played on every screen, so no matter where you look, you don't miss anything. But yeah, I know it's a guy thing, but really, you know, I don't know. And next story is Cummins is laying off workers as of January. Cummins announced that they'd be laying off up to 2,000 of their 62,000 employees, their global workforce, beginning of 2020. The company issued a statement per this article, which is as follows. As we communicated in my last video last week, demand has deteriorated even faster than they expected, and we need to adjust and reduce costs. We have already taken several actions in response to declining revenues. This includes reduced discretionary spending across company, several global efforts to optimize our operations, voluntary headcount reductions, and we continue to align production with demand at our manufacturing facilities. Unfortunately, we must do more to reduce costs because the downturn is happening at a sharper pace than we experienced in the previous 2 cycles. We are going to reduce our global workforce by approximately 2,000 employees, which we anticipate completing by the first quarter of 2020. We understand this is incredibly difficult for those directly impacted and for all employees across this company. Cummins' third quarter revenue was down by 3% from 2018's third quarter, and according to the Indianapolis Star, the company points to reduced demand in North America truck market as a reason for the reduction in the revenue. Volvo Trucks has also recently announced a major layoff in their Dublin, Virginia plant, as I reported previously, and in their decrease in demand for trucks as well. And our next news story, a truck driver was sucker punched and left knocked out on the shoulder of a road. He was hit by a motorist. Oklahoma police are looking for a motorist who attacked a truck driver during a road rage incident. This happened November 26th on I-35 in Oklahoma City. Veteran truck driver Elsie Boyd says that the road rage incident began when he blew his horn at a man in a gold SUV who refused to let him merge. Of course, I do that all the time. He, quote, what I was trying to do is to get on the freeway. Didn't make no moves or nothing. All I did was blow my semi-horn at the person. They screeched on the brakes. They made it a point not to let me in. I'm already about to hit the merging point, so he stopped. I got behind him, and don't get behind him. I got 2 lanes over. So this is kind of, in the article, it's kind of confusing. So the SUV driver continued to play cat and mouse with Boyd's truck. Finally, Boyd pulled over on the shoulder of I-35 and got out to confront the SUV driver. Well, I'm sorry, but that's your first damn mistake. Boyd, armed with a golf club, spoke with the SUV driver, then said he was turning to walk back to his truck when he was sucker punched. Well, I'm sorry, Mr. Boyd, but don't bitch about you being sucker punched when you come at me with a golf club. I'd do the same damn thing to you. The attack left Boyd unconscious on the side of I-35. The SUV driver apparently left the scene. Boyd said, here's the sad part. His wife had the nerve, I guess the SUV driver, had the nerve to call his company and said that I was doing reckless driving, but yet you don't have the audacity to call an ambulance. You don't call nobody. You just left me on the side of the road like my life didn't matter. Well, apparently their lives didn't matter if you're going to come at them with a golf club. Don't cry. But if you have any information on this road rage incident, you could call Crime Stoppers at area code 405-235-7300. That's Oklahoma Crime Stoppers at 405-235-7300. And a driver, following his GPS, hits a bridge on the New York Parkway. How many times do we have to tell drivers not to follow their GPS? Don't, and especially a personal GPS at that, don't follow a personal GPS. I'm telling you. It just, doesn't work. Here are some pictures you can see the trailer and where he hit the bridge. It was the Archway Bridge. This was on November 27th. New York police say that he used his personal GPS device and he struck the bridge. In a statement, the Westchester County Police Department describes it as follows, according to the article. You've heard it before, out-of-state truck driver using his personal GPS, not a commercial one, and ignoring or not paying attention to multiple signs and pavement markings, that state trucks are not allowed on the parkway. This was today's outcome on the Bronx River Parkway. A tractor-trailer traveling southbound in Yonkers struck the bridge overpass for the cross-country parkway about 11:30 in the morning. The impact sheared off the roof of the truck and destroyed the trailer. The roof ended up in the right lane. The lane of travel shut down for hours so the roof and other debris could be removed from the road. The cargo on board the truck also needed to be hauled away. Yeah, he did a heck of a number on that. An entry level driver trainer rule gets pushed back by 2 years. The FMCSA, which stands for Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration, announced a 2-year delay to a rule that establishes nationwide minimum training standards for new truck drivers. In the notice that was published by the Federal Register, the FMCSA pushed back the compliance date for the, quote, minimum training requirements for entry-level commercial motor vehicle operators from February 7th, 2020 to February 7th, 2022. They claim that the delay will allow state driver license agencies time to update their IT infrastructure, internal procedures, and budgeting allocation to properly record driver course completion information. The delay will also allow the FMCSA time to update their electronic interface, so they say. Why didn't they think about this before? They put in that sort of a deadline. I thought that was supposed to, don't you think that that's all supposed to be under consideration when they make that kind of a deadline? I mean, come on, you know. Back to the article, the entry-level driver training rule would impact anyone obtaining a CDL for the first time, or anyone who wanted to upgrade their CDL from a Class B to a Class A. At that time the final rule was published, the FMCSA said they believed the new driver training standard could reduce the number of highway deaths, increase fuel economy, and increase overall efficiency in trucking. That may be, but at the same time, you know, you don't sit there and do that, say those things, and expect the doggone, that's the only problem that's out here. I'm sorry, I'm looking for something at the moment. That's not the only thing. Apologize. I'm trying to get better, y'all. So stick with me. I'm trying to get better at this. And of course, I have to take a drink because of the fact that now I got a tickle in my throat. Nothing like a Yeti cup, and no, I don't get paid for this. Yeti cup and 20 ounces of coffee. Everybody wants me to be natural, so I'm trying to be as natural as I can. It's a chore, trust me. I am way out of my comfort zone doing this. But anyway, this episode of Julia's Truckin' Cafe, Truckin' News Hour, is brought to you by My Patriot Supply. As truck drivers, we all know what it's like to be at a shipper's or receiver's and have to wait to be loaded for hours on end. Am I right? Especially produce coolers and paper mills. That's why you need to be prepared with extra food in your truck. My Patriot Supply helps you stay prepared. Now, it's not what you're thinking. My Patriot Supply is delicious emergency food. They have food kits that are good up to 25 years. They also come in a slimline tote that can easily be stored in your food pantry or under your truck. I speak from experience after living through Hurricane Katrina. We were without power for 10 days, my mother, my son, and I. If it weren't for the MREs that were flown into us, we wouldn't have any food. 4 60-foot pine trees broke in half during that storm and landed across my driveway, landlocking me in. So I couldn't get out for food, and there were 4-mile gas lines. That's when My Patriot Supply would have came in handy. If I knew then what I know now about My Patriot Supply, I would have definitely had some of this food stockpiled in my pantry. Now, for a limited time, you can get this, as you see here, a 1 week supply of food in a handy and neat looking ammo can for just $39. Look at all that food you get for $39. They even offer gluten-free food for under $100. All you have to do to get yours is go to my website, juliastrucketcafe.com. As you see in the link, click on the Emergency Food Supply tab, or juliastrucketcafe.com/emergency food supply tab with the hyphens in between each word. Scroll down and click on any of the images to find out more information. Winter weather is upon us. What would you do if the interstate was shut down, or a truck stop where you were at didn't have any power to sell you any food, or the restaurant lost power? That's why it's very important for you to stay well stocked in your truck. You insure your car, you buy health insurance, vision and dental. Now why not buy food insurance? Stay prepared for anything that happens. Go to juliastrucketcafe.com and click on the Emergency Food Supply tab to order yours today. Now let's get back to the news. In California, Department of Motor Vehicles sold driver information for over $50 million per a report. A report released on November 25th says that California Department of Motor Vehicles, or the DMV, selling driver data for tens of millions of dollars. A report from Vice found that California DMV had routinely sold driver data like names, addresses, and vehicle registration to commercial groups who requested it. Are you freaking kidding me? The dollar amount paid by the commercial groups increased from $41.5 million in 2013 to 2014 to $52.6 million in 2017-2018, Vice says. These commercial groups requesting this information are believed to be insurance companies, vehicle manufacturers, and prospective employers. California DMV Public Information Officer Marty Greenstein told Vice that DMV takes its obligation to protect personal information very seriously. Information is only released pursuant to legislative direction, and the DMV continues to review its release practices to ensure information is only released to authorized persons, entities, and only for authorized purposes. The DMV also audits requesters to ensure proper audit logs are maintained and that employees are trained in the protection of DMV information, and anyone having access to the information is to sign a security document. Yeah, whatever. We all know that crap like this happens all the time. Selling our data and stuff to, it just anybody that they can make a buck off of. It's freaking unbelievable. Now, get a load of this next story. A Georgia town opens a roundabout with railroad tracks in the middle of it. Okay, how is this supposed to work? I mean, really? How is this supposed to work? A Georgia town is opening an unusual roundabout bisecting by a set of railroad tracks. The roundabout is set to open at one of the busiest intersections, Sandersville, Georgia, at Highway 242 and Hospital Road. According to the Georgia Department of Transportation, or Georgia DOT, the roundabout was put in place after numerous drivers made unsafe turns at the more standard intersection. Everybody's going to these roundabouts. For truck drivers, they're a pain in the royal tuchus. Kyle Collins with Georgia DOT told the local news that there shouldn't be any problem with unusual roundabout railroad combination. Only in Georgia, quote from the article, there's really no need for concern on the railroad end. Right now there's no guard arms, but those will be installed soon. So you'll have to stop just like you always do when a train is coming through. That's the first and only roundabout railroad track combination in the state of Georgia, or in any other state that I've been through, and I've been to all lower 48. But if you know of any place else that has something similar to this, leave a comment below. And I'm like, good gracious. So in Christmassy news, since that's kind of around the corner pretty soon, the Capitol Christmas tree reaches a final destination November 29th. The U.S. Capitol Christmas tree was safely delivered the week of Thanksgiving thanks to a team of law enforcement and truck drivers. The 60-foot tall blue spruce arrived at the U.S. Capitol in Washington, D.C. The week of Thanksgiving after a 2,000-mile trip from Carson National Forest in New Mexico. The truck that delivered the tree, as you see here, is specially wrapped, a Kenworth W990. As you can see on the sleeper, it's got the Christmas tree behind the Capitol building, and with the tree still, laying down on the flatbed. A team of 3 drivers from New Mexico-based company Wilbanks Trucking Services split up the oversized load driving duties during the tree's journey and was able to safely bring the tree to the nation's capital, where it will be enjoyed by thousands. This is not the White House tree, this is at the Capitol itself. So that's pretty cool to get a little Christmas spirit going on here at the Trucking Cafe. And our top story, a semi plows through another truck's trailer, splitting it in half after he goes off the exit ramp too fast. Illinois State Police say that 2 truck drivers were injured during a multi-vehicle crash that happened on Monday, December 2nd around 5:30 in the morning. Sorry about the wire. Local news outlet reports that a semi-truck jackknifed on the ramp from I-70 west to I-55 south around Troy, Illinois during icy road conditions, coming to a stop with a trailer blocking the roadway, as you see here. A second truck hits the first truck's trailer. He doesn't hit it, he runs right through it, splitting it in two and leaving large amounts of debris scattered on the roadway. See the CTI truck there in the picture? Right there in the picture? That's the one that ran slap through the doggone truck. And it both the driver of the first truck suffered serious injuries and required extraction. Well, it landed on the driver's side. That usually happens. A passenger in that same truck was transported to the hospital. The driver of the second truck suffered only minor injuries, and the ramp was shut down for a significant period of time. And a group in Maine brightens up truck drivers Thanksgiving, which I always think this is pretty cool. It's all a part of a tradition in Maine called Trucksgiving that has been going on for several years in Maine, like I said, during which members make their way to a local truck stop to deliver a care package and appreciative note to drivers spending their holiday on the road. Here are some of the volunteers that go out of their way on Thanksgiving to make this happen. This driver was nice enough to share what he got in his goodie bag this year, and they give out a lot of nice stuff with also an appreciative note. And the note says, "Good morning. Whenever I'm driving around, I notice truck drivers. I'm all too aware that you are bringing us the very things that we are using, eating, and buying. I'm not sure everyone else does, though. To remind you that you aren't invincible and that we are thankful, here's a fun bag full of donations from my friends." I hope that they can be used And Daniel, that got one, said, I would like to say happy Thanksgiving and would like to say thank you so much for this wonderful surprise I received this morning in Auburn, Maine. This was very sweet and really made my day a very special day. Thank you all for the fun bag. So that is really, really cool of everybody to do that for the drivers. And if you enjoy my show and what I do here, like I said, I apologize, it's a little rough. The links to do so are in the description below. You can either make a monetary monthly support or a one-time donation. I greatly, greatly appreciate all of you who tune in each and every time that I upload a video here. If you're new to the cafe and you'd like to check out at the bottom of every podcast episode on the website at juliastrucketcafe.com, I have links that I've listed every place else, like iHeartRadio, iTunes, Spreaker, Spotify, also Facebook. Don't forget to join our discussion group. Please subscribe. Push the red button so you can also always see when I have a new video uploaded. If you wouldn't mind, please subscribe to our email list. I will send you the show notes right to your inbox. I will also have a link to the show notes so you can access the articles yourself. This way you don't have to keep coming back to the website to try to dig around and find them. Please also look around our website. I have a lot of cool things going on. I have cooking in your truck recipes and cooking videos for the newbies out here that really don't know much about driving or their first winter. I also have a page of stupid things that drivers do, cars and trucks. So have a look around at juliastrucketcafe.com. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to come in and chat with you this week. And I greatly appreciate all of you each and every week. Take care and have a blessed week. Keep the shiny side up. You have been listening to Julia's Truckett Cafe Truckin' News Hour. Check us out on Facebook and Twitter. Take care. Have a blessed day.